Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Pepper, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to score 27 out of 30 consistently for your situational writing. So bear with me, give me a few minutes of your time today, and stick with me till the end of the video. So first things first, let's clear up a common misconception. Many students think that situational writing is easy because they can just copy information from the visual provided. Now, that might have worked in primary school, but in secondary school, it is not enough. In secondary school, students are required to elaborate, to expand on the information in the visual, and to add their own ideas to suit the task. And yes, this means you cannot get away without planning. Let's take a look at what is expected of students, okay? So based on MOE's rubrics, task fulfillment requires the following aspects. Number one, address the required points. So students will generally be given 3 to 4 bulleted task points. And at least one of these task points will demand that you create your own content. Yeah, this means information not found in the visual. So for instance, if the task point says, explain why you signed up for the workshop, you need to come up with a reason on your own. Next, you need to show awareness of purpose, audience, and context. So if you blindly copy from the visual, this shows zero awareness of PAC. Students, you must tailor your content to suit purpose, audience, and the context provided for you. Next, you need to make good use of the given information. You must pick out relevant details from the visual and then elaborate and expand upon them. So you may think, this sounds very demanding. And I'll tell you, it is. It is challenging, but for good reason. Why do I say that? Well, situational writing carries 30 marks in the O-level English paper. This is the same weightage as the continuous writing, so it definitely deserves your full attention. But don't worry, we'll be giving you a step-by-step roadmap to help you get from starting point till the end. So when you are given a situational writing assignment, the first thing you need to do is to identify the purpose, audience, context, and tone. Next, unpack the task requirements. Thirdly, take a look at the visual and choose a suitable option. Next, plan. Unfortunately, too many students skip this step. As they say, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And there's a good reason for that saying, yeah? So don't skip this step. Plan before you finally put pen to paper and start to write. Okay, for the purposes of this video, right, I have chosen this sample situational writing assignment. So at this point, I'm going to ask you to hit pause on the video. Okay, hit pause, take about 2 to 3 minutes, read this once through, digest this, and then hit play or continue when you are ready to resume. All right, I assume that you're done, that you have read this already. Let's take a look at the PACT, shall we? My purpose is to recommend a workshop that will help students deal with the exam-related stress and burnout. My audience is the teacher in charge of my school's student welfare department. And the context? What about a context? Now, context refers to all the circumstances that are surrounding my writing of this email. Okay? I'm not writing this email out of the blue, right? There's a reason why I'm writing this. So what are the circumstances? Well, number one, the exams are drawing near. Number two, many of my peers are struggling with revision and feeling stressed for good reason. Number three, I'm a PSL. I'm a peer support leader. This means I should be aware of the challenges that my classmates are facing, as well as what kind of support they may find helpful. So I always tell my classes this, that the stronger students will be able to incorporate all these context points into their writing. Trust me, it makes a difference. Yeah? The tone, I should adopt a sincere, formal, and persuasive tone so that I can convince the teacher to take me up on my recommendation. Next, let's unpack the task requirements. So tier 1, I need to recommend a workshop and explain the reason for my choice. Okay, I need to pick out details that will show that this workshop will help them deal with stress and burnout. Next, I need to explain why my schoolmates will find the workshop beneficial. Now, the more astute of you viewers out there would have realized that there is a potential for overlap, right? Between TR1 and TR2, there is a potential for overlap. So bear in mind when you're writing TR2 that your content for TR2 must be distinct, different from TR1. It cannot overlap. Okay, I cannot emphasize this enough. It must not overlap. TR3 requires me to suggest a follow-up activity for students to consolidate their learning points. Now, this is not found in the visual at all. I will show you the visual shortly, but take my word for it. This information is not found in the visual. I need to come up with ideas. I need to brainstorm ideas for how my peers might be able to put what they have learned from the workshop into practice. Okay, 3 task requirements. And when it comes to explaining, when the task point says explain, I generally recommend that students use the PEEL framework to structure their points. This ensures that they are developing their points sufficiently. Okay, so PEEL stands for point, elaborate, examples or evidence, and link. And now it's time to analyze the visual and choose an option. So generally, students will be presented with 3 options, 2 to 3 options, and they are asked to choose one. So my students always ask me, Miss Pepper, how do I choose an option? I don't know which one to choose. And I generally tell them this: always choose the option that you are familiar with. This means you should choose something that you know reasonably well, either through your personal experience or through your observation, or maybe you've read something about this option. You should also choose an option that you feel confident explaining. Be clever, okay? So don't choose an option just because it looks fun. Choose something that you're confident explaining. You should be able to explain what the option involves. If you're unsure how it works, skip it. Choose something else. Next, you should also choose one that you can support with specific examples. Yeah? Pick an option that allows you to give concrete details. So examples, these can be hypothetical examples or real-life examples. They are both fine. Now, for the purposes of this video, I will be recommending the meditation workshop as a means to help my peers deal with the stress and burnout, okay? So at this point, again, I'm going to ask you to hit pause. I need you to read this one through, digest this, and as you are reading this, think, are there any details that I can use to support my recommendation of this workshop? This means, are there details in here that suggest that meditation will help my peers deal with stress and burnout? Okay, keep this in mind as you are reading, and hit pause. Hit resume when you're ready to continue. All right, so I assume that you read this already. Okay, so let's compare details, shall we? The first detail that I've picked out is this: that meditation helps students ease into a state of calm. Ask yourself, might this help students deal with stress and burnout? How? Next, it says that meditation is known to improve focus and memory. Once again, I need to ask myself, is this something that my peers might struggle with? Focus and memory, is this something that is important, especially during the revision period? Right? Next, I've also identified this point, that meditation teaches you to stay in the moment. This means mindfulness. This means mindfulness. Now, ask yourself, is mindfulness something that students nowadays struggle with? Is it important? Is it relevant? What happens when one is constantly distracted and not engaged in what they are doing, not paying attention to what's going on around them? Right? So think about these points, yeah? So I have picked out 3 details. And I need to decide, I need to plan which detail goes where. Okay, I need to organize my points so that they best fulfill the task requirements. So when it comes to formal and informal emails, I recommend 5 paragraphs: the introduction, the conclusion, and 3 body paragraphs. Okay, so in the introduction, I have my greetings. I state the context, the purpose. In body paragraph 1, I'm going to address TR1 using these 2 points. Body paragraph 2, I will address TR2 using this next point. Notice that this point is distinct from the points I have in my body paragraph 1. Yeah, remember, no overlapping. Body paragraph 3, I have to suggest a follow-up activity to consolidate the learning points. Maybe I can suggest that the school implement weekly meditation sessions during the assembly. Yeah. And in the conclusion, I reinforce the key points. I say, I hope that I've been helpful, and I thank the reader for considering my recommendations. So it's quite structured. Yeah? Situational writing, when it comes to email writing, is rather structured in this sense. Okay, so for the purposes of this video, unfortunately, I don't have the time to show you a full sample situational writing email. Yeah, so I have chosen to go with body paragraph 1, and I'll be showing you how to write a good body paragraph 1 using the PEAL framework. So let's unpack this body paragraph. I start by addressing the task requirement directly. I would recommend the meditation workshop as it teaches useful techniques that will help students cope with the stress of exam preparation. This is my point. The P in my PEEL. Always start by addressing the task requirement directly. And do you notice I've also slipped in the mention of the context of exam preparation? Yeah. Next. With exams approaching, many students are feeling overwhelmed. Meditation offers a way to step back from the pressure and ease into a state of calm. This much-needed reprieve from revision can help prevent burnout. Meditation also improves focus and memory, which are essential for studying effectively. Most of us juggle 6 subjects and struggle to retain large amounts of information across the various subjects. This is my elaboration. Notice over here, it is in my elaboration that I bring in the details from the visual. So I have brought in the details, but I've elaborated upon them. How? How do I elaborate? Well, I mention how these benefits are relevant to the context. Yeah, that's elaboration. Next. For instance, it is not uncommon for many students to forget what we have just studied. This means we have to revise the same material repeatedly, which makes our study sessions more time-consuming. These are my real-life examples. So basically, I need to bring in some examples to support what I said earlier about many of us struggling to retain information. Yeah. So these are real-life examples. Lastly, I believe the improved focus and memory that meditation brings will better equip students to retain revised material, thus making exam preparation feel less overwhelming. This is my link. No paragraph is complete without the link. Yeah, the link is just a simple sentence that will help link my examples back to my point to reinforce my point. All right. So altogether, this is my PEAL paragraph. You will realize that I have built the entire paragraph around the 2 details: that meditation eases us into a state of calm and that meditation improves focus and memory. Only these 2 details are from the visual. Everything else is built upon these. So do you realize that writing a good PEAL paragraph is not easy? It's not easy. And that's why a lot of students struggle. But, okay, would you like to be able to write like this? Even A1 students, will need clear guidance to be able to write at such a level, even if you are naturally gifted with the talent of writing well, you will still need practice and guidance and an understanding of what examiners are looking for. So at Create Solution, it will teach you how to break down the situational writing task, plan before you write, how to craft well-developed paragraphs with sufficient elaboration. Okay, a lot of my students struggle with this. How do I elaborate? What does elaboration even mean? Okay, so we'll teach you this. And we'll also show you how to use language in a way that is suited to the task and crafted with a bit of flair to help you stand out from the rest. Yeah? Okay, so we'll show you what strong writing looks like and we'll show you how to get there. So if you're interested in learning more, please contact our admin via WhatsApp at this number. And that's all from me for today. I look forward to seeing you in class. Bye.